Okay, so this museum, we are right now the #1 museum in Orlando on TripAdvisor. We are the largest skeleton museum in America.
The skeleton gives an animal its shape and provides the basic framework to which all other tissues and organs attach. It gives the body strength, protects internal organs, and helps the animal to move.
We're a small family-owned business. There's only 2 of us. Our home base is actually in Oklahoma. Our founder is Jay, and he started when he was 7 years old. His first skull was a dog skull that he found in his backyard.
There are 206 bones in the human body, from the largest, the femur, which is the leg bone, to the 6 very small ear bones, 3 in each ear. There are approximately 80 species of whales, dolphins, and porpoises. These range to the enormous blue whale, which can reach lengths in excess of 100 feet. The crab-eating monkey, native to Southeast Asia and Indonesia, has the same number of teeth as humans.
So his own personal collection right now is over 7,000 skeletons alone.
Peccary, also known as javelina, are pig-like mammals. There are only 3 species of pecorina. In the order Aerodactyla are the even-toed ungulates, or hoofed animals with an even number of toes. Hoofed animals are actually standing on their toes. The hoof is like a toenail, providing protection.
And then on that wall we have a sei whale skull that is 11 feet tall and over 20 years old, and we just noticed the other day that it's still secreting some whale oil.
As a medical student, I was loaned a skull to study. Notice the small holes above the eyebrows, below the eyes, and in the chin. Those are where the facial nerves come out. I only was allowed to keep the skull for the 2 years that I was studying anatomy. Afterwards, I had to return it. Locomotion aids most vertebrate species in finding food, seeking shelter, escaping predators, and looking for mates. Notice in the horse the very short femur, the longer lower leg tibia, and the very long metatarsals, what we would call foot bones. These then terminate in long toes, which is actually what the horse runs on. The piranha is a freshwater fish that inhabits South American rivers, floodplains, lakes, and reservoirs. Although considered extremely predatory and mainly feeding on fish, their dietary habits vary extensively, and they also will take in plant material. Pelicans are characterized by a long beak and a large throat pouch used for catching prey and draining water from the scooped-up contents before swallowing. Komodo dragons have shark-like teeth and poisonous venom that can kill a person within hours of a bite. Convergent evolution is when unrelated organisms evolve similar traits or characteristics as a result of adapting to similar environments. The skeletal structure of a dolphin's flipper bears a striking resemblance to the flipper of a sea turtle or penguin, even though these animals belong to different taxonomic classes: mammal, reptile, and bird. Their design is very similar due to their aquatic existence. Notice how the tree sloth's long toes help him grasp a tree branch for locomotion. While the human skeleton has 7 cervical, 12 thoracic, and 5 lumbar vertebrae, the dolphin has 7 cervical, 13 thoracic, 22 lumbar, and 31 caudal vertebrae. This wall contains a fascinating exhibit of skulls representing the evolution of hominids, which eventually resulted in Homo sapiens. These are the only bones in the museum which are not genuine bones. These are all replicas that can be found originals in museums around the world. Prosimians are a group of primates that include galagos, potos, lemurs, bush babies, tarsiers, and lorises. They're primary tree dwellers with hands and feet capable of grasping tree limbs. They're considered to be more primitive than monkeys and apes. Notice the very large eye sockets in these nocturnal creatures. The order Primates contains over 400 species of lemurs, lorises, tarsiers, monkeys, and apes. Most primates are arboreal and live in tropical or subtropical regions of Americas, Africa, and Asia. There are a number of ground-dwelling primates in these regions as well. Primates range in size from the tiny mouse lemur, which weighs only 1 ounce, to the huge mountain gorilla that can weigh up to 440 pounds. The museum also displayed a large collection of skeletal abnormalities. I love the skeleton of the two-headed calf. We saw representations of this animal in the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum. Cyclopia is a rare congenital birth defect characterized by the presence of only one eye. This is a result of the embryo failing to properly form 2 distinct orbits. Typically, the one eye is centered on the skull, and often there is no nasal cavity. Deformations of this nature rarely survive past birth. This is an example of a disease called osteogenesis imperfecta, or abnormal bone growth. Here we see an example of foot binding. Until the early 20th century, the Chinese practice of foot binding was seen as a sign of wealth and marriage eligibility. Bandages would bind the feet of a young girl in 2 directions, crushing the toes under the ball of the foot and pushing the heel towards the toes to create a steep arch. There are several types of dwarfism, though the most common is achondroplastic dwarf. People with this genetic disorder have a short stature with an adult height ranging from 24 to 52 inches. This particular skeleton measured 43 inches tall. Notice the relatively normal-sized chest, but the very short forearms and leg bones. The normal human spine curves gently forward as it runs up the back to give support to the head and upper body. Sometimes the spine is curved too far forward, causing a slip on the back. This condition, kyphosis, is often referred to as hunchback and can be a result of arthritis, osteoporosis, or trauma. Severe cases, as in this specimen, can cause great discomfort, breathing difficulties, and even lead to death. The ostrich is the largest living bird by height, which is native to Africa. The second largest is the emu, which is endemic to Australia. Emus can dash away at nearly 30 miles per hour, and if cornered, they kick with their big 3-toed feet. An owl can rotate its head for a full 360-degree field of vision. There are approximately 7,000 species belonging to the class Amphibia, including frogs, toads, salamanders, newts. A frog has 5 toes on its back legs and 4 toes on its front legs. Amphibians are cold-blooded animals whose skin is covered by a layer of mucus which helps to keep them moist. Most amphibians lay eggs in water and then go through metamorphosis from a juvenile water-breathing form to an adult air-breathing form. Deer and relatives of the deer, like the moose, have antlers. Goats and antelope and relatives of the cow have horns. This is a very rare example of a centaur specimen. Of course, it's fake. Hedgehogs are found in grasslands and woodlands in Africa, America, and Europe. When threatened, they can roll into a spiny ball with as many as 5,000 spines protruding from their body. Moles are small mammals adapted to a subterranean lifestyle. They have cylindrical bodies, velvety fur, very small and conspicuous ears and eyes, reduced hind limbs, and short, powerful forearms with large paws adopted for digging. The oldest known fossils of fish are about 420 million years old. The northern seahorse lives in vegetated habitats along the Atlantic coast of North America. These are examples of creatures with exoskeletons, such as snails and sand dollars and starfish. There are two living species of alligators, the American alligator and the Chinese alligator. Alligators and crocodiles have different snouts. The alligator's is broader and shaped like a U, whereas the crocodile's is longer and narrower and more V-shaped. Reptiles come in dozens of colors, shapes, and sizes. They include 8,200 species, include the crocodiles, the snakes and lizards, and the turtles. Reptiles are generally characterized as air-breathing, scaly-skinned animals. Most reptiles lay eggs, but some snakes and lizards have live births. All reptiles are cold-blooded. This means their body temperature is dependent on the temperature of their environment. Predatory animals have their eye sockets in the front of their skull. This provides them with binocular vision, allowing them to precisely judge depth when tracking and pursuing prey. In contrast, prey animals are more interested in being able to spot predators advancing from behind or beside them when they are grazing or feeding. For this reason, they have side-facing eye sockets, enabling them to have a wider range of vision. African elephants have rounded heads, while Asian elephants have a twin domed head, which means there's a divot line running up the head. The North American porcupine has 30,000 quills that lay flat until needed for defense. They detach easily when touched. New quills will grow in to replace those lost. The guinea pig, native to South America, has long been used for research and as household pets. It primarily feeds on vegetation, particularly seeds and berries. The capybara is the world's largest rodent, weighing up to 176 pounds. Native to South America, it lives in a variety of densely vegetated habitats. Though capable of running as fast as a horse, it is hunted for its skin, oil, and meat. The groundhog, or woodchuck, is found in the eastern United States, parts of Canada, and Alaska. It has long, sharp claws for digging complex burrows in which it hoards food, nests, and hibernates. It eats 1/3 of its weight in vegetation daily. The muskrat is a large rodent native to North America. It always lives near water and has rear feet that are webbed for swimming. Living in large family groups, this species builds homes out of aquatic plants. These skulls are all representative of seals. The first, the ringed seal, the crab-eater seal, the leopard seal, the gray seal, and the bearded seal. All domestic dogs are descendants of the wolf that were originally kept and bred by humans to serve various purposes. Initially, dogs were bred for working, fighting, guarding, and hunting. As societies advanced, dogs were bred smaller to serve as pets.
In Oklahoma, it's more of a destination museum. People are coming to that museum to see skeletons. Where here, it's like, wow, what's this place? It's more of like, they get here and it's a surprise.
With over 1,200 species worldwide, bats make up 1/4 of all mammals in the world. They're found almost everywhere on Earth, except for polar regions and extreme deserts, and are the only mammals capable of true flight. The name Chiroptera, the order to which all bats belong, originates from two Greek words, chir, meaning hand, and pteron, meaning wing.
We open every day. We're usually open 365 days a year from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. No one is ever disappointed when they come to our museum, so I hope you enjoyed it.